Guys, Zaps here. So this video is in light of the recent behind the scenes October. Just thought I would discuss, my thoughts on how everything went. And it's a loaded month, in all honesty. I'm looking at the list right now. There's like 8 updates, and I can't remember actually a behind the scenes have revealed so much. And granted that, some of them are little things that maybe don't really count for an update of their own, like I don't know, like the graphics for the new dungeons. I don't really feel like that's worthy of mention by itself. Maybe like just a thing on the side, but still, 8 mentions is a lot for just 1 month. So what I'll be doing, going about my daily business, and I'm just going to talk to you all about what I think. And first on the list, of course, is the Festival of the Dead, which I've heard about, but I haven't actually learned very much about it. So I know next to nothing about it except that it's going to happen. It's a seasonal event, so it's not staying around for very long. And as a completionist cape guy, I don't really care about experience at this point. I know some people when they get their comp cape, like, oh, I'm gonna get even more XP, and I'm not one of those people. So pretty much, I got 99 player. I stayed at 99 player. I am not thinking about getting a single XP more. I got a little bit more because of dungeoneering, fine by me, but not aiming for a lot more. So when the update was like, yeah, you'll get like 250k more player XP, I was kind of like, oh yeah, whatever. It's nice for people who need it. I'm not one of those people. Don't really care. So what did catch my attention though was the skull graphical, not cosmetic reward. And, it might sound stupid that that's what caught my attention about that particular part, but I really want a flaming skull. Like, that thing is cool, and it'd match everything about me, and it'd be awesome, and I'm convinced that I would be, like, 100% of a better person if I had that by my side. And I know it's not going to be a flaming skull, but, it might be a little close, whatever. I can hope. It's not going to happen, because Jagex clearly doesn't like me. But in any case, it's what I'm looking forward to. And otherwise, it seems like a pretty cool way. The content should be fun, just meeting all the people important RS players, NPCs who died. I think Duradel's definitely going to be there. Hazelmere. It'll be interesting at least. Next up is the King Black Dragon, which I actually thought was the most interesting update. The 10% damage boost. Alright, so they're updating the King Black Dragon, and it's gonna be sort of like how they redid God Wars, and how they're gonna make the boss drop much better stuff, so it'll be much more worthwhile to actually face this guy. And in addition, if you get to the King Black Dragon through the wilderness as opposed to the new teleport directly to the lair that they're adding, you get a 10% damage bonus, which I think is a unique idea. There's been damage bonuses for doing particular things at bosses before, like going to Black Wars before you go to God Wars dungeon gives you a little bit of a damage boost or attack boost, whatever it is. But I thought it was pretty interesting. It's a nice thing to add. I definitely won't be using it because in no way is it beneficial for that small of a damage boost on such an easy boss unless they make it significantly harder. I think it would be easier just to get right there and get out, do what you got to do. Something else about it is I noticed it's dropping an ornament kit for the D Kite. Thought it was really interesting how they decided to do that to complement the Queen Black Dragon, who does drop the Dragon Kite Shield. So, as someone who's learning how to kill the Queen Black Dragon efficiently, that's pretty interesting for me. It might make killing the Queen more profitable in the future, especially if more people want it, because now you have this awesome ornament kit that will complement it so well. By the way, tangent on the Queen Black Dragon. Managed to kill her yesterday using melee, but I died as I killed her. Don't know how. I think it might have been like a delay with a melee attack, something like that. Ended up dying. Was not happy about it, but whatever, it happens. Last thing about the King Black Dragon is the lore about the Dragon Riders that we'll be finding out about. Lore is always interesting. I think one of the main selling points that Jagex has about this game is that their lore is just so in-depth, well-developed, and captivating, to say the least about it. And that's what makes all the quests so interesting. That's what makes a lot of the gameplay really interesting. And for them to add it to the King Black Dragon instead of kind of being like, oh yeah, it kind of like uh, mated with the Queen Black Dragon, and now we just stuck in the wilderness. Actually having like a lore behind the Dragon Riders who are now extinct. You want to know like, oh, why did they get extinct? Did they just like go hungry? Did they like fall into like a pit or something? Like we don't know what happened, but it'll be really interesting to see how that develops. Moving on, dungeon graphical updates. Not much I can say to that. It's graphical. It'll look nice, but it's in dungeons that I never go to, so I probably won't be feeling much of that. There are dungeons that should be updated though, like Taverley hasn't been touched in a while. Brimhaven hasn't been touched like in ever. Chaos Tunnels. It's all places which probably deserve an update by now, so no complaints there. Goblin Mob I was really confused about actually. I think it's pretty much just like going around and killing like noob goblin bosses. Whatever. It's free to play, how hard can it be? So I didn't think too much into that, but I guess the item drop that they give, which boosts combat XP for a short amount of time, they are, I guess, useful for low levels who do need it. Otherwise, moving right along, the new Dorix quest remake. One complaint I do have is all like the remakes they do, and how wow, is this another dead herb? All right, well shit, but I'm fine with the remakes with quests, but it used to be if they remade it and you already had it completed, you didn't have to complete it again. Like when they redid Dragon Slayer, Romeo and Juliet, all those kind of things, I didn't have to go back and do them. I had the option to. I decided not to. The Ozen quests that replaced Prince of Ali, it was a little different. It was interesting, so I can't really complain about it. At the same time, I didn't really want to do the quest, but at the same time, they also released another one in addition to it, which is pretty much the same thing. So I was a little conflicted. I was like, I don't really want to do this quest, but it's interesting and like it's logical. So I guess I shouldn't be like handing down judgment on this new revamp for Doric's quest. But I also kind of want to, because I don't want to like go out of my way and do this dumb quest, because I hate quests. It used to always happen that I'd forget like a spade back like in the bank, and I have to run all the way back to like the entire underground pass just because I forgot like this spade. Happened a lot more than probably should have, but with Toolbell and everything, it's getting better. So Halloween event this year, I was surprised to find that Jagex didn't like focus the entire month of October around Halloween. It used to be like they would be like, oh, we had this awesome thing for Halloween. Where we had this awesome thing for Christmas, and that's gonna be like the biggest update of this month. And there's like these little things on the side that are like Halloween theme-ish, but like not really that big or important. But it's mostly the Halloween event. It was different this time around because it seems that like the Halloween event, it's there. It's definitely going to be fun. It's going to be engaging, but it will not be what makes this month interesting as a whole. It's going to be like icing on the cake kind. It's going to be part of what makes this month, but it's not going to make the month. And I think that's a step definitely in the right direction, especially like for content which just doesn't even stay in the game for that long. That it should not be the highlight of the month. I used to do it all the time with, I remember Christmas events, it'd be like the major thing, and then they have like little stuff on the side. But it's good this year. They have a bunch of things that are like kind of themed around Halloween, but Halloween is not, again, the major selling point in this month. I totally just teleported to the wrong place. Duel Arena, they're making changes to the Duel Arena. I think the only one I read was the fact that you can it's easier to rematch someone. As someone who never duels, never stakes, I staked a little bit. I'm up like 5 mil, and I convinced myself that if I try any harder, I'm gonna get cleaned. So I'm stopping at being up at 5 mil. I end there. So pretty much, I never use this, but I can see how for people who do go for multiple like rematches when they do stake, it'll be very useful. It reduces the chance of being scammed. I think it's a good thing to have. I welcome it, but again, I probably won't be the one to use it. Final thing, which is apparently the cause of a lot of complaint, is the new Solomon store cosmetic changes, especially to hairstyles and recoloring of said hairstyles. And people have been asking for a while for new hairstyles, and Jagex has been seemingly reluctant to do so because they haven't done it till now. And then the one time they decide, yeah, okay, we'll give you new hairstyles, they make it, they put a price tag on it, like a real life price tag. And I think for many people that was sort of, what are you doing? Like, many people are mad at Solomon's store already, and I'm one of those people. I do not like the fact that all these microtransactions are being added to the game. But when it's something as small as hair, I don't know if I would be so upset. Like, I think my situation right now is I kind of just look at it and I'm like, okay, I guess I won't be getting new hair, but my hair is always covered anyway by this fancy hat and hopefully a flaming skull. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. I do not like the moral behind it, but at the same time, the consequence, in my opinion, is not big enough to complain about. That about wraps it up for the month of October. It's a very interesting month. It shouldn't be a significant month in terms of gameplay, except for perhaps King Black Dragon. It might, if the drop tables are balanced well enough, we could probably see the King Black Dragon being a much more popular boss to kill. People might start doing Black Dragon tasks as King Black. Well, they do it already, but more so than usual, like how people do Zami God Wars now in place of Greater Demon tasks. That might become a norm if the King Black Dragon is that good for people who aren't power slaying to an extreme degree. Otherwise, it doesn't seem like that filled of a month. It'll be fun, it'll be interesting, it'll be a good time, but just not much in the way of significant gameplay being introduced. It actually seemed to me that most of the new additions were just XP multipliers. You had one for Prayer and Festival of the Dead. You have the damage multiplier in King Black Dragon. You have the combat ones for the Goblin mobs. I'm sure there's more that I missed. Oh yeah, no. In the new Doric's quest, there's a whole bunch of XP boosts from mining and smithing, as well as XP rewards for mining and smithing. It's a lot. That seems to be what they like to do now. I am not against it, but at the same time, I don't benefit from it at all, being a completionist caper. So it's just the way it works. Well, so that's it for now. I'll see y'all around. Hope you enjoyed the video.